One of the big science stories of our time is the following. CNN has this piece. Trump has personally pressured drug company CEOs repeatedly to speed vaccine. Now, Business Insider also says the following. Trump claimed, without justification, that the new, tighter FDA vaccine guidelines were a, quote, political hit job hours after the White House approved of them. What a goofball. Listen, so here's what's happening. President Trump knows that he's in trouble, knows the numbers are looking horrendous for him against Biden, knows he's probably going to lose at this point, and he's getting desperate. And this explains a lot of his recent actions. His insane all-capital letters tweet storms that are longer than anyone's previously. But one of the things he thinks is like, this is my way out, is let's get a vaccine right before the election and release it. And I'm going to go around and take credit. And I'm going to say, aren't I so amazing? I brought about the cure for COVID. I, Donald Trump, got us this amazing vaccine. It's going to be incredible, folks. That's really what he wants to do. And that's really what he's trying to do, which is why they're reporting he's talking to drug company CEOs and berating them and saying, hurry up with the vaccine. Now, here's the problem, guys. The way these trials work, there is no, hey, let's speed this up. Because the amount of time that it takes is there to make sure we have all the safeguards in place, to make sure we get it right, to make sure we don't rush to the market something that's either unsafe or doesn't work. Like, it's gonna take however long it's gonna take. I know it's not a popular thing to say, or even like a positive thing to say, because everybody wants it ASAP, one that works at least. But like, this is the reality of the situation, guys. This is the way the world works. If you're gonna do it right, it's gonna take some time. And so for him to, the fact that he's like literally calling him up and yelling at them, that's so funny. He thinks he's such a baby. Like, he thinks it's that simple. If I just call him up and start yelling at him, then they'll listen. What? What? Oh my God. What a goofball. What a goofball. But there's another, obviously, giant downside to all this, which is, let's say for a second that they do skip out on certain procedures, certain testing, and they rush it to market. Well, then what happens? Nowhere near as many people are going to take that vaccine. You want to know why? Because they will rightly have concluded, hey, I'm not sure this is safe. They probably skipped a few steps here. Of course, that's what's going to happen. I have that feeling. Do you? Listen, I am a huge believer in science. Okay? Huge. But if you rush a vaccine and release it before the election, do I think that vaccine is going to work or is safe? I don't know. I don't think so. I probably wouldn't take it if it was released before the election, because it does seem like it was rushed and they skipped out on stuff and they're really rolling the dice, and it's more of a political move. It's more of a political move. That's what it is. It's like Trump is the one injecting politics as he pretends like it's the Democrats doing politics. How? Why? What do you think? The CEOs of the drug companies are secret Democrats and they want to hold back the vaccine before the election because they don't want to make you look good, Mr. President? He's crazy enough to believe that. He really is. So, again, I'm not one to come out here and pester everybody about the differences between, Biden and Trump, but let's keep it real skis here. Just in general, abiding by scientists and what they say, listening to the experts, following the science, there is no comparison. Obviously, a Joe Biden presidency would be so much better on that front. So much better. Because Trump really is like a toddler, to the point where he thinks I could literally call up the CEO of a pharma company and berate them, and they like, sorry, Mr. President, we'll have the vaccine out this afternoon. What? He's a mess, this guy. He really is. It's like that video that came out a few months ago where he was at some event, and they were talking about how the scientists are predicting, and it's really borne out too, that the extreme weather events are going to ramp up. And this is climate change. This is what's going to happen. And Trump said something along the lines of, I don't think they know what's going to happen. I think it's going to cool down. Or they were talking about I think it was the wildfires, actually. He's like, it's going to cool down. That's what's going to happen. It's going to cool down. And everybody was like, oh my God. Like, he has no problem just saying, what is it that the scientists and the experts say? What is it that they say? The people who've dedicated their entire lives to these things? Okay, I disagree. Like, he has no problem just being like, nah, wrong. I don't agree with that. Nobody cares if you agree with that. Who are you? Who are you? You're Donald Trump. You're the president. You don't know anything about this. I trust a guy who's dedicated his life to studying this stuff. I think the scientists are wrong. I think it's going to cool down. Yeah, it's going to cool down in the sense that the winter's coming up, so it's going to get cooler in that sense, but long-term trends, yes, we're moving in a warmer direction. The climate is changing. That is a fact. I don't think the scientists really know that much, to tell you the truth. I don't think they know. I mean, this another clear example just like that of a guy who doesn't know about the science, doesn't follow it, doesn't care, just views it through a political lens and is trying to rush it. But in the process of rushing it, you're actually further undermining our institutions and further undermining the belief in science. Because now people will rightly say, hey, maybe the science is tainted because this guy's steering the ship, and obviously he's just doing it for personal gain. So this is not good. The fact that this is even a thing, like, I can't imagine anybody else ever like trying to interject in scientific proceedings and like change it. Like, he's trying to, there's nothing you could do. You have to let them do the research, do the studies, figure out what works. You can't just be like, we're going to skip a few steps. He's out of his mind, man. He really is.